A big thing that we do at all levels of the company, not just marketing, but even in innovation or even in supply chain, is this idea of small bets. I think in marketing specifically, the model used to be an advertising agency comes up with a campaign for a big client, and they go into the big boardroom meeting and they say, hey, executives, we have 3 different campaigns we think could be cool for this. And then a group of executives decides that's the best campaign. Let's put $50 million into that campaign. And let's hope that it works and does everything we want it to do. That doesn't work that well that often. And even these big companies, they try to hedge these bets by saying, hey, well, we're going to test. We're going to run focus groups. And they'll say, well, it tested really well. Then they put it in market and it flops. Because it turns out when you put people in a clinical testing environment, they don't behave the way they normally do in the real world. So you have to take all that with a grain of salt. And there's few things you can really glean from that. It's not a perfect way to say, is this funny to real people or not? If Liquid Death was put through a focus group at Coca-Cola, it would have never seen the light of day. Because people would have been like, oh, this is so terrible. It's so confusing. I would never buy this. And it's one of the most successful beverage launches of the last decade. So the way you can get to big ideas or big wins is by, again, doing something we call small bets, which is not that foreign from someone who is a stock trader. You have a portfolio of things. You've got, hey, this little thing here that it's probably not going to make me a bunch of money, but if I get lucky, this could be this huge return. And then, oh, I have this thing that it's probably not going to get too big, but it's also not going to completely lose either. And you've got the right mixture of things where it enables you to find unexpected wins, because 8, 9 times out of 10, the thing that takes off and goes nuts is the last thing you thought that would. And the thing you're like, oh, this thing's going to be incredible, ends up not doing at all what you thought it was going to do. So you have to do a bunch of different things, and you can only afford to do that if you can find ways to test things and do them in smaller form to get a good idea whether it's working or not. And then if something's really working, you can move money or resources over to that thing, whatever that might be. So, we have things from, okay, yeah, we're going to do a video with Martha Stewart, not the cheapest video in the world, but we also get the benefit of once you can create consistently viral content that's legitimate entertainment, these celebrities are willing to work with you for a fraction of the cost, because it's not just a cash exchange. They know that their brand is getting something. Martha Stewart knows, she's not dumb. She knows, hey, I want to stay relevant. This is a cool brand. They're constantly putting out videos with millions and millions of views on social. That helps my brand, actually, from a relevancy factor, to be a part of this. Different than Martha Stewart being approached by Pepsi to do something. But still, it becomes a big bet for us, but we kind of know that thing's probably going to do decently well because it's Martha Stewart. But it's probably not going to be this thing that gets 100 million views and does all that. So we'll do those kinds of things. Then we did another video where we made fun of the old Shake Weight commercial, if anyone remembers that, with cans of Liquid Death, where they're using cans of Liquid Death like a shake weight and spraying themselves in the face with water. That video cost us $40,000 and did 6 times the views of Martha Stewart. But no one would have looked at that idea on paper and said, oh yeah, this is going to be bigger than Martha Stewart. It was the dumbest idea ever. But it was one of the most successful. But again, we have to kind of give ourselves room to experiment with things that maybe they do something, but hey, if they do nothing, it's not tanking your marketing budget. It's not going to screw up your trajectory.